Get everybody on. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning. Get this sass up here. Good morning, my little loves. Morning, Mary. Oh, Mary's at the campground. Good morning, Tanya, Christy, Michelle, Catherine, Mary Frances, Miriam, Elaine, Kimberly, Cheyenne. Welcome to Romper Room. Good morning. I'm all sorts of fancy today. I hope you guys notice how fancy I am. I was telling Kim about it earlier. She only came on just to see how fancy I am. I know she did. Getting myself all prepped. Good morning. He's fine. Grabbed all my stuff. I'm all prepped. Let's hope I am. I'm all sorts of fancy this morning. We got some odd things to talk about. Some things I tested. Some things I thought, yeah, that didn't work. Or that's a work in progress. While everybody's catching in, get your pad of paper, grab your cup of coffee, and we're going to get this potty started. We is. Let's see. So let me move everything out of the way. Give me 1 second. There we go. Okay. All right. We ready? Let's do this. Let's get this, as usual, going up the 8th floor. Now we're on the 8th. Don't mind the mess today either. I am about to redo my shop. So you see all those, this is what happens when you pull everything out of stock. It becomes a hot mess. All right, Nick, you're tall, but you're not that tall. Do you see that? Hello, gorgeous. What's the tattoo on your leg? It is my cancer ribbon. My cancer survivor ribbon with a butterfly. You saw that? Wow. Eagle Eyes Stephanie. Eagle Eyes Stephanie. Good morning, Jessie. Good morning. Good morning, good morning. Yes, Stephanie has eagle eyes this morning. What? How did you see my... I don't even want to know how you saw my tattoo. I actually have 2 tattoos. My tattoo on my leg is of a butterfly, and it has a dark purple cancer ribbon in it, and which signifies that I am a cancer survivor. And for those who don't know, I'm a 2-time bone cancer survivor. The odds of me actually surviving the cancer were 0 to none. Once you hit getting cancer twice, your odds of surviving it become virtually impossible, especially a bone cancer. And it actually was a kid's cancer that I got at the age of 23. So, yeah. And I'm here every day to annoy the happy love out of all of you. Thank you. I had to wear a dress today, and everybody's going to ask me, why are you all so fancy? Yesterday, as I posted in our graphics group, my daughter, Sarah, graduated from community college before she goes on to a 4-year college. She made a beautiful financial choice by going to community school, getting most of her classes out of the way before she goes on to that big 4-year school. So she graduated yesterday from community college, and it has been a long 2 days with her ceremonies, her honors dinner and stuff on Friday, and then yesterday for graduation, that my leg is completely spent. I am just, it's very, very swollen, so getting on normal clothing today just wasn't the deal, so you get to deal with me in all of my fanciness. So you're welcome. I'm going to move my thing over because I cannot see you guys. I'm talking to the camera in one spot and you in the other, and it's just kind of sort of annoying. So let me move, give me 1 second, the iPad, because it's just annoying me. I like to be able to read and look and say hi. That's my thing. Okay. Thank you. For those who don't know, this is the sass for May 19th. We're going to talk about a couple different things. I will touch upon my daughter in about 2 seconds. We're going to talk about some Father's Day things, some things that I tested out for you guys to do and whatnot. Kind of an odds and ends kind of a show. So getting back to the whole Sarah thing, my daughter has a learning disability, and from the time that she was little, she was told she wouldn't be able to ever do college. She wouldn't be cut out for it. And I've taught my children about perseverance, and you push through and whatnot. And I want you to take that perseverance, and I tell you that brief story about my daughter and pushing through and literally being at the top of her class grade-wise. So I'm super, super proud of her for her perseverance. And, you know, that's what I teach, too, to all of you, is perseverance. Push through the hard stuff. Even if it takes you guys a hot minute, these are going to be your words of wisdom for Sunday, is just persevere. Push through, do what you're supposed to do. And you know what? It's not going to be perfect every time. I'm going to tell you about some trials and tribulations that I've been working on, and I'm going to get it right, I promise. And because I have this idea in my head, and I think it's a great idea. So again, I will persevere. And that's what I teach with my children, and that's what I'm going to teach with all of you. So, there you go. There's my little ditty for the day. So, there we go. Awesome. All right. Going to control? Okay. So, we have some things that I've been working on. First and foremost, let's start out with a kind of an item that I look at every time I go to Walmart, ironically enough, and I think, can I press on that? Why not? What's the worst that's going to happen? My heat press is going to get all gunked up. I'm going to say that's probably not the best idea of all worlds. It's kind of one of those things. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you what I did. So you go get those bath mats from Walmart. They're the inexpensive bath mats. And this one says, "Hello, gorgeous." And I picked up 2 different styles. I picked up the one with the ridge. This is the super soft ones. I want to say they're like $15 a mat. But you want to get the light colored ones. They have, I believe, a blue. They have a pink that I'm going to show you. The gray is just stunning. And the gray goes with just typically any bathroom. And the fact that you could actually press on it, and it didn't do anything to that funky back. I thought, okay, so now I'm going to press for you guys the pink one, and I'll show you the pink one because it has a different, this doesn't have this kind of weird looking pattern, and I wasn't sure how it was going to press with all these little ridges, and honest to God, it pressed gorgeous. So you're going to ask me, what did I press it at? Of course, naturally. 375, 485, and the reason I cut down my temp from what my normal is, which is 385, was because it has this weird almost like shelf lining backing, and I didn't want the heat to do anything to it, so I knocked down my heat a little bit, added some more time, and that's what we did. So I think I just love to go like this. It's super soft and fuzzy. So I will show you what I'm gonna do. I think that's really cool. Good morning, Mom. Everybody say good morning to my mother. She's gonna love that I said that. I'm going to show you. Hold on. Okay, so you're asking which mat it is. It is the Mainstays Memory Foam mat. Oops, sorry. I'm looking at that, and let me get you this. Sorry, guys. So, good morning, Mom. I love that you guys say good morning to her. It cracks me up. Morning, Linda. So this is the Mainstays whoops. Almost man down. It's the Mainstays Memory Foam Mat. It's the 20 by 30. You can buy these right in the store. I know you can get them online and whatnot. I'll try to not knock the camera over again. So I will take a better picture of all these for you guys. So you see the front and the back, the UPC code and whatnot. This one is called Pearl Blush. So this is what I'm going to do right now. And if you notice, this has different ridges. And this is actually one I have this in my bathroom, believe it or not, in the brown form. But I have it, and I thought, oh, the pink actually matches. This blush pink matches. So I'm going to put my design on it. You don't want to do what I call squish the hell out of it type of pressure. You want to push it to where your clamshell or your swing away closes nice on it. So a medium pressure. You don't want to be squishing this to all living hell. So this is what you want to do. Always take note of where your tag is on something too, especially on different items. So I'm going to lint roll real quick, and I'll show you how I did it. Pull up the lint roller. Let's move my camera over. You know, the one that I'm deciding to knock over apparently. I'm at a different angle today in the shop too, because as I've said, I am going to be cleaning my shop. I have to literally pull everything off the shelves. I'm going to be rearranging, reorganizing, because cluttered shop means a cluttered brain, which means cluttered activity. So let's lint roll, we lint roll. Okay, so lint roll. Okay, and then we'll get our fancy. Is that Boscov's? No, it's Mainstay is Walmart. You look like you should have a hot date after. Oh yeah, hot date with the grocery store. That's what I'm gonna have after. A hot date with the grocery store. All right, protective paper. Always, always. So find your center. With bath mats, it's really easy where to find your center. Smush it. Find out where it is. Find out what the line is. This is a 15 by 15 swing away. Or I'm sorry, clamshell. I don't own a swing away. What the hell was I talking about? Put this on here. Alright. We've got our cute little design. I'm going to show it to you afterwards. I'm not going to show it to you right now. I'm not going to tape it down. I don't feel like it, to be honest with you. You don't always have to tape it down. You don't always have to use Pro Spray. I mean, you can. You risk shadowing. So, you know, there's that problem. Get it all where you need it to be. I really got to smush this back a little bit. And there you go. There's not a lot of pressure. It just sounds like there is, just because of the mere fact that there's this thick, you know, memory foam in there. So it seems like there's a lot more pressure in there, and there's really just not. It's not heavy, heavy pressure. I'm not fighting with it to close. When you see some of the things that I am going to press and show you, you'll see where my timer doesn't even budge. I have to actually use the timer on my phone because it's so thick, it doesn't register when I close it. So we're going to let this cook off. It's $3.75 for 85 is what I did. So $3.75 for 85 for the memory foam mainstay mats. I know they have a light tan you could do words on. I wouldn't put anything of an image unless it's a lighter color. Remember, just like shirts, anytime that you put a color on a colored item, it changes the whole way it looks. So, for instance, I did the gray. I did black. I did some black lettering on it. Nice part is it's not even vinyl, which that's pretty cool. I know they have some light blue or light teal. So you just have to look. So you have to look at these bath mats and make sure that they say that they're 100% polyester. I've been staring at these mats literally for months going, should I just jump and do it? I mean, let me get on the bandwagon of everybody else. So why not? I figured, what's the worst that's going to happen? So let's turn this and see what you guys are up to. It has to be 100% polyester. The poly content on this, obviously, is the top is 100% polyester. The bottom, I have no idea, but that's why I don't smush it. Let me see where you guys are. And just so you know, I don't know if you guys can see that, the image bleeds through. Okay, so this is why you put your protective paper down, and this is why you, I'm gonna know that it came out so cute. I honestly love this design. Hold on, I gotta back this up. Oh, here, we'll go this way with it instead. I'm gonna giggle. Oh, I'm gonna giggle. It says, I hope your day is as nice as your butt looks. Isn't that adorable? But, and yes, okay, there's that. No one's going to sit, when you lay it on the floor, no one's going to sit there and go, oh, you didn't get in the crease. No, it sits like this. No one pulls a mat back and goes, oh. Okay, so there you go. This is the pink one. Oh my God, it's adorable. I think, though, I'm going to tell you, I like the ridgy one better because these aren't as deep. These little cracks here on here actually aren't as deep as these ones. This one is. So I like the fact because you can see all my lettering literally gets right inside those ridges, whereas because this is how it's made, accordion style, it didn't. But how cute is that? I giggle. And it's a perfect butt grip. Oh my God, it is! Oh, Christy, you kill me. It's a perfect butt crack, she says. Of course it is. Oh my goodness gracious. You see? That's so funny. Oh my goodness. And you know what? I think bath mats, to be completely honest, yes, you can do some pretty florals and you can do some gorgeous words and fonts and whatnot, but I think the ones that honestly are going to sell for you guys are the funny ones. I see naked people. Don't worry, I don't judge like the scale does. You know, certain things. There you go. Take those for you. I think those need to just be funny. I don't know why. You need humor at any part in any room in your life. I think every room in your house should have a little bit of humor, just because when you walk past it, it gives you a good giggle. So I have something literally in every room that I just look at and go, what was I thinking? So there you go. How would you ship these? Well, we'll use this one just because it's... They honestly, you could probably put them in a tube, because if you notice, they're super, super flexible. You could probably put them in, gosh, I mean, and they're not heavy, so, and they squish down really, really nice. So, honestly, ready? Can I go again? I can! You can't do these with the Home Depot mat, I'm just saying. And you could probably buy these online, where you can't buy the Home Depot mat online. So you could put this right in a box. What are the odds? I mean, seriously, what are the odds that you could squish it down to look like this hot potato? I love this. It's memory foam. Aww. Aww. And when you undo it, my daughter's giggling at me right now, I have to tell you. There we go. So there you go. I hope that helps. Yeah. A tube, not a tie. Yeah, I mean, there's lots of different things you could put it in, I guess. You can put it in a box. You could probably put it in one of those these tie-back style envelopes. My husband gets them by the truckload for me because he works for the post office. So you could probably put it in there, put it in a plastic bag first. I always encourage that when you put something in those tie-back envelopes, always find a plastic bag to put it in, whether it's a Ziploc bag or you go to the expense of actually going to like Uline where you have the strip ones. I have a bunch around here all over the place, and you actually put your card and your sticker on it and whatnot. So I think that would be, and then I just put it in the tie back. They call them tie back envelopes, and just put it in there. I think you'd be able, I mean, we put shirts on it and sweatshirts. Why can't you put that? Don't step on me, I have footprints on. See, I mean, think of all the possibilities of a bath mat. Now, I could tell you what's going to happen at about 12:15. I know a bunch of people who are going to be on their way to the good old Walmart, and they're going to be getting their stuff. Okay, so here's a couple out of the box thinking moments. Some that I've read from the board, some when I was up until 3:30 this morning, I all of a sudden had this epiphany idea of something that I need Stan to get on board with. I'm going to press it, because I want you guys to see it pressed afterwards, because I think you need to hear my brain, but I'm going to talk about other things as well. So why I press this item, and I think it might be a cool idea. If not, it's going to be at least my idea, and it's going to be an idea that I'm going to have for myself, and that I will use and market and be really cool. But I know that it's currently not on the market, and I'm going to put Stan on it, just because it's right up his alley for things to sell. So, let me print this first, and then I will show you what I did and where my brain was. Give me 1 second. Tighten down my pressure. Up a little bit. Grab some protective paper. Use this one briefly. This is only a test subject, and you guys can't see me right at the moment, and that's okay. You don't need to see me all the time. I'm already a hot mess. Okay. So while I work on this little project, I'm going to talk to you about something that I saw on the board, and everybody right now is into Father's Day. So what can we do for the father in our life, right? Okay. So a lot of people do the hammers, and they put vinyl on the hammers, and some people say they laser cut them and they wood burn them and whatnot. I looked at it and they said, well, can you sublimate on it? Actually, yes, you can. And no, you don't have to treat it. But there are some things that I have learned and the ones that I have done that I can tell you a tip, trick, and try. Okay? So, yes, I did sublimate on it. Would you like to see? So here's the first one I did. This was my ball hammer that I use to make my clipboards. So, put the image on, realize that maybe my image was a little bit too long, and the paper sticks. The paper's going to stick to these, okay? This is no more work or effort to take the paper off of this than you guys using the new shrink wrap crap that you guys are doing. So honestly, this, here you go, right? So that's one. So that was trial number 1. So I actually went and bought a hammer instead of my ball hammer, and this one I made too long. And here's why it was too long. If you look at it, it dips down. So you really only want to do an image that's about 5.5 inches. Or, well, this one's 6.5 actually. So I redid it, shortened my design, and look what happened. And there you go. See, these have already got like a poly coating on them. Just move that. These already have like a poly coating on them. So I really didn't, I just had to take this sticker off, because they come with stickers all over them. I had to take the sticker off, and I put it in my heat press. Now this is where my heat press doesn't lock down enough to where it'll set my timer to go. So I just use the timer on my phone. Yes, the paper sticks. Okay, so what did you do? You literally go run it under cold water and take a one of those green scrubby pads. I'll have to have my daughter run and get it. But it's a green scrubby pad. And you literally just lightly go over it to get the paper off. Okay, and it's just because it's sticking to that poly. But yeah, you can. You can actually sub on these guys. This is about 6.5 inches for that. So there you go. I mean, this is, you can. So then, of course, my brain goes 47 steps further than it needs to go. So I'm working on a project right now, and this is this. Again, it has this, come here, but
don't mind, it's a little wet.
No, it's fine.
Yeah, I turned it off.
Hold on, stay right there. This is that scrubby that I use to get the paper off. It's that green, weird scrubby. So it's light enough of an abrasive to where it's not going to ruin something. Okay. Going back to the whole hammer thing. The ball hammer, okay, you have to look at these handles, is a little more flat. Okay, there's no handle grip and whatnot. There's no high ridges. Whereas a traditional hammer, okay, dips a little here. So you really got to get into this pressure. And where I had issues is where it dips really far down here. This actually doesn't dip as far as this does. So I'll explain that when I'll put it in the press. Same idea with this. Why? Because this is for a grip. So there's a little bit of a bubble up here in this. So here is, I want to make I have to center my design better because it was floating down into, but there you go. This is a great way to give it to your firefighter in your life, maybe market it to firehouses, because everybody knows I'm fire, EMS, and police. That's my thing. And you could market this as an award. I'm working on getting an image on here. I have it stuck in my head, and I'm going to make it work. No, you cannot poly on this, or not poly on this. No, you cannot print on this, even though there is a coating. It's like a rust coating. You can't. The image doesn't go on there. So I have a couple ideas of what I'm going to be doing with this. So this isn't a finished project, but I trust I will show you that finished product when I'm done. But back to the hammer. Why vinyl when you can sublimate it? So there you go. And yes, so this. We backed it down a little bit, and we backed it down to 375 to 85 because I sat talking to Stan about it. I'm like, the paper's not coming off. And he goes, well, back down on the heat, make you more time, see if that helps. Ease up on your pressure a little bit. Okay, so it didn't matter. The paper still stuck. But I got a much cleaner, much nicer press that I did on this side, because this was the first side, because this was just too long. So once I shrunk my image down a little bit, it worked perfectly. I mean, but there you go. I hope that is a good thing. So let's go over to the press. I'm going to show you what I did. I'm not actually going to press one just because I have to go wash it. So, all right. Couple things. All right. Let's talk about investment. All right. I know you guys don't like to spend money on things. But you see this green mat? Let me tell you about this green mat. Shop around. There's a couple different vendors that actually sell this green mat. One is $30 more than the other. And I have to tell you, this green mat, I use it for my slates. I use it for my ceramic ornaments. I use it for my hammers that I'm about to show you. I use it for just about everything because it's a heat conductive mat. It was worth my $130 for my 16 by 20. And the only reason I got the 16 by 20 is because Big Daddy, Big Papa. Oh, my girlfriend calls hers Big Daddy. Big Papa is a 16 by 20. So I wanted a mat to fit Big Papa. All right. So Big Papa's bottom platen is 16 by 20. But let me tell you, I use this guy for everything. Yes, you can go get the silicone mats, the macaroon mats. I totally have done that myself. Obviously, I told you guys how to use it. But if you can make an investment, take a little bit of pennies out of each one of your sale to get this, this was a good investment. So try to make a good investment for each one. He's fine. For each one of your, go Brady. For each one of your things, okay? Pick one item, even if it's small, whether it's a wrap, because the wraps aren't cheap. I mean, they're running about 50 bucks. Make a good investment. One that's going to stop you from going, oh my God, if this messes up again, I'm going to scream. That's this guy. Okay. So I'm going to show it from this view just because it's where the camera is. Let me get my handed camera for 2 seconds. Pull this out. Bring him over. And let's lower it, shall we? Going down. Hardware. The mat you can get at Johnson Plastics or Condi. The major vendors have them. Coastal might have them. I'm not really sure. I don't shop at Coastal. I definitely have my favorite vendors. That's no secret. All right. So, here's what you do. You take your hammer, okay? And you're going to have to literally bring your pressure up a lot, okay? Because put your paper on here, tape it on. You're gonna have this go. So this, pretty much what this mat is doing is giving it pressure to that paper, okay? And it's pushing it down on that little, literally the image is only 1/2 inch wide, or less, and you don't want to go any wider than a 1/2 inch. 1/2 inch is actually pushing it. I probably would have done like a 0.4 or a 0.45. So this is where it dips down the furthest. I hope you guys can see that. Oh, hold on. Sorry. This is where it dips down the furthest, is right here. Okay, so you want to actually just keep that off your platen. There's no need for it. Your image is about 5.5 inches. Okay, so you literally put this here and hold and close your press. Now, if you notice, my timer doesn't go off at all. So how do you combat that? Use your phone. You have a clock. Use the stopwatch on your feature on your clock. That's the problem when you have, and I'm using a clamshell, okay? So you would go through, fast forward time, okay? You would look and see if it was burnt, if you could actually start to see the image through, okay? Remember, you're gonna have to wash this off anyway, so it doesn't even matter if it's sticking at this point. But maybe it's a little bit where you wanna add a little bit more here. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna come in, rotate your, you might have to change the pressure just a little bit, but rotate it so that it hits on that bottom edge of the paper. All right. And that's it. And then you close it. Again, if you notice, this is slightly rotated so that it's hitting all on those edges. And you might have to come back, and you don't have to do it for the full 85 seconds. You can, obviously. You come back up through, turn it. All right. And you just keep giving it some love. This is why you only want to put that image maybe a 1/2 inch, because it's kind of like a flat point, to call it something, okay, right in through here. So you definitely want to make sure that it's only about this big, because this does dip significantly on this side than it does over here. The mat creates that wavy pressure that you need, and because it's a heat conductive mat, the heat helps get through it. So even so, you might want to just add more time, not necessarily more temp. You just want to add more time. Again, why? Well, why not? So like I said, the paper's got the stick on this. Just go take some cold water, get it wet, take your green scrubby, go over it, and voila, you are done. And now you have a hammer that that's sublimated on. Here's the thing too. People are gonna be like, oh, but it's gonna wear off. Okay, so that's gonna wear off over time. I mean, really, if they're using it, yes, then of course it's gonna wear off. Could you put an extra coat of poly on it? Probably. Will I? No. There's the sass. So there you go. I mean, I wouldn't, to be completely honest with you. Good morning, Jennifer. Going back up, because y'all don't need to see my craziness, except for me. Okay, so we did our mat. I talked to you about the hammers that I'm working on. So these are pretty cool things to work on and make and do and all of that happy stuff. So that's really cool. Let me get my project that I'm working on. You're gonna love this one. Actually, Jen may kill me, actually. But it's nothing she has to match. Okay. So, I got this idea. Let me get you my prototype, shall I? I got this idea. Mikey, stop, buddy. So, sorry, my son just came home and my dogs are just loving life. Okay. So, here's my prototype. Can anybody tell me what I've made? What do you think I've made? Now, I hot glued it together. I would sew it. But tell me what you think I've made. I'll give you a second. I'm sorry it's making your dog bark. See, they're just loving each other, Christy. What do you think I've made with this? Literally, it came to me at 3:30 this morning. Jen's gonna wish that I never stay up until 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. No, Barbie lampshade. No, no, no. Hand sanitizer holder? Good idea. Nope. Newborn. I'm not even gonna repeat that, Tina. Oh my good Lord. Oh, see? You guys are bold. Bold! You made me blind with the... he's fine. Oh my gosh, I can't even. There you go, Mandy got it! Yay, Mandy! Woohoo! It is a napkin ring holder. So once you get it all sewn together, and it would go with, so it would be neoprene, and it would go with Stan's placemats and table runners that you can offer as a set. Yay, Mandy! Woo-hoo! Really cool idea, right? So what I want him to do is, it's made out of neoprene. I literally cut a koozie apart because it's the right size. Because a napkin ring holder in the center is supposed to be about 1.5 inches. So the 1.5 inches I had to make. So, right, to match my Pioneer Woman stuff. Exactly. But I like the fact, and here's what I like about these napkin rings. Is one, I could probably throw it in the washer if they get gross. You know, I can make, but look. Isn't that cute? Wouldn't that be just adorable to have that as a set of 4? And you put the placemat with it and a table runner. And now you've got a whole set to give somebody. So maybe we can get Stan to get these made for me. If not, I'm just going to have to sit here and make them myself. I'm going to really just use and abuse a lot of koozies in order to get this done. So, like it up if you think it's a good idea. I want to see, if you think it's a good idea, show me hearts. Because I now need to sell this to Stan. So if you like it, yay! Is Jen going to kill me? Like it up. If you like it, show me lots of hearts, because I think it would be a great idea, and they don't have it on the market. They don't have one for sublimation, and I want to be in on the ground floor, and so here it is, my idea. So if anybody else does it, ha-ha, I beat you to it. Ha-ha-ha-ha. What did my Jennifer do? Actually, I tried cutting the popsicle holder and it's too small. It's only 1 inch in diameter. I actually thought about that. That was actually where my idea was first born from, was cutting that, but the hole is too small. The standard is 1.5 inches. So that's a little less than 1 inch. I legit actually cut one to see if that would work. So it would be too tiny for what it's made for. So I think that this would be a good idea. What does my Jen say? I love my Jen. She cracks me up. Oh, did I miss it? I thought Mandy said it. See, I'm sorry. Jen said it first. I have to say that alive and out there. Jen said it first, napkin ring. I thought Mandy did, and it didn't come up as first as Jen. So now she can't yell at me after the live. She wouldn't yell at me anyway. She'll pick on me, but she won't yell at me. So I think this would be a great idea. I think it's something cute. You could just grab a couple of these, pennies on the dollar, I'm thinking. But this would be a great thing. Yes, he could probably get them unsewn. And then you could sew them together, because like I said, I hot glued this one just to see if it would, be a thing. I'm like, nope, needs to be sewn. So I would want them sewn. I wouldn't care if there's a seam on it because of where you'd put the seam. So again, it would act just like the koozie. So keep that in mind if you wanted a full bleed. So I would see if he could offer some sewn and unsewn versions of this. You could obviously, like I said, hot glue it together. This was my prototype from last night. But if that's the case, if somebody's going to wash it, I don't want something to go in the dryer kind of thing. They'd have to air dry, but not a bad idea. Just have to say. Does anyone carry the new Apron holder for personal inhalers and emergency? No, that might be a good idea. You're welcome, Jennifer. Okay, so that was my think outside the box idea, was creating those. So that's what I'm gonna argue with Stan over. Actually, I don't have to argue with that man over anything. I have to be honest. He is, when I have an idea, he is really, really receptive to my idea. And even if he has to mull it over for 47 years, he knows that I'm going to ask him 100 times what it is it did. So moving right along, this is the armband. I already did one side of it. This is the sleeves that you can buy. I put the seam literally down the center. That's how I pressed it. You can get these at all the major vendors. This is one side, so I'm just going to show it to you what those arm sleeves look like. Sorry, it's pretty badass. So I'm going to press this because everybody always asks. You literally, I don't put a jig. There's no jig here for these. I don't make a jig for it, to be completely honest with you. What I do is literally just press it. I don't roll it, nothing, because these press really flat. I'm gonna lower this down. Because these press really flat, I don't have to worry about it. So I should have mirrored the image, or should have unmirrored. So if you're gonna want a continuous image, this does not line up with the stripe on the back, which for right now is fine because I'm only doing this as a test. So here you go. I don't necessarily roll the image, so I'm just going to, obviously it's already been prepped because I've already done one side of it, right? So now if you want to, if you're afraid that you're going to end up with a little white seam, just gently roll it over. Pretty much you're just going to push it under. Let me see if I got this. Yep, okay. Hold on. Brady, can you go, honey? Thank you. My dog is just, it's Sunday morning and he knows mommy's here. Don't mind my mess, guys. I'm going to get this a little bit closer. Remember, I get to reorganize the shop. The shop is actually in a completely different layout than I normally do right now. So, because we're going to, because we are getting ready to rearrange. So, all right. If you are so in dire need to make sure that that's, just gently roll it under and tape it. I don't put this, like I said, I don't put it in a jig. I don't feel the need to. I just gently pull it over. And there you go. Okay. So let's get some protective paper on my platen. Because this is gonna make a hot mess. Because there's lots of ink there. Let me get this down really tight. And change the pressure. So far are we good on this? Thanks for showing how to roll it. You're welcome. None of those are quite big enough. I tried. Thanks though, Amy, and you guys are my first go-to. What is she talking about? Oh, the chapstick. Yeah, we'll have to do a redesign on that one, Catherine. You know, I think that would be a good one, is a redesign. Oh, my Brady is my cute puppy. He definitely drives me crazy. So, like I said, you want to take it, and I'm trying to get it so you guys can really see what I'm doing here. Get a really more close-up shot. All right, Rhonda, watch the replay. Okay. So, here's this, right? Just gently go like this. You see, this is what you do by rolling. This is called rolling, okay? Just gently roll it under. Not a lot, all right? And with these don't have the stretch like socks do. So, I mean, they stretch, don't get me wrong, but socks really stretch. So, that's just why I don't do a jig for these. But, here, let me put it on the heat press. turn this bad boy around. Okay, remember we're old school, so we don't have high-tech things around here. Line it up, okay? I do my kitty corner because this is a larger one. The one that's actually, sorry, the next size bigger would have to go on Big Papa. Big Papa would have to put that in there. Okay, let me check my pressure. Oh yeah, he needs to be down. Yes, I'll put Dr. Paper down right now. I'm just checking pressure. Throw some protective paper on it. Let me make sure I'm on my press. Hot. There we go. See, it's hot. I think I want a little more pressure though, because there we go. Perfect. So we'll let that bake. There we go. Sorry about that. So we're going to let that cook off and do what it needs to do. And the magic of camera, I get to not move, and it does. Funny how that works. All right, so we have that. Sorry, you got a close up at this hot mess madness here. What am I making? An armband sleeve. Next, we're going to work on the popsicle holders. People are wondering what the popsicle holders are for those that are new. Amy sells a popsicle holder. You can also design it. I was talking to Stan. I go, what else could you use a popsicle holder as? If you're doing a wedding box, you can actually put a cigar in that thing. And you could decorate it with the wedding date. So it becomes like a sleeve for a cigar. They're, you know, it's one of those kitschy items, to call it something. So you have kitschy items. Put that over there. So you have kitschy items. So that's what that would be for. But pretty much a popsicle holder is just as it is. It's a popsicle holder. Great for birthday parties, family functions and that type of stuff. You could put different family reunion, whatever. But like I said, these are really just favorite gifts for birthday parties. That's what I would use it for. And that's what I have used it for. Let me see how I did. I might have needed more pressure. Let me just double check something. It's fine. Okay. So here's this. You know it has a good bleed on it, or a good press, because you see all the ink that literally came off. There's the ink that I didn't use. Here's the ink that I did use. So I mean that's a win. Could you use to store your cord for your phone to be able? Oh yeah, you could. You could use it for, yep, You could, you mean these? Use this to store your cords for your phone? Not really. It's, like I said, it's only about 1 inch in diameter for this. So it's not much of a space. So like I said, a scar, popsicle. Anyway, here is this. The roll method. I'll show you my roll method. Hold on. Let's see if I did this. See how good I did. Not too shabby, if you ask me. I mean, my design doesn't line up. That's because I'm a goofball. But you can definitely see that there's really no white line. I probably could have rolled this just a touch better right here, but that's me being very, very anal. There's the end part of it. So I did on that side. This one, because I did roll it correctly, is a perfect. So there you go. Like I said, the seam I put on the bottom of my arm. If you're gonna wear these, that's what I would do. Put this in the center so that your seams run pretty much up where Sorry. So your seam runs pretty much where your elbow is, those where your press marks are. So this is the top. Your seam is underneath here. All right, it hides because really, who's going to see that? This runs here. Now you could do it to where this seam and this seam line up. You very well could. I just don't. I don't know. I created something. There you go. What do you guys think? Really cool, right? So, there's that. Again, sorry for the crazy shop. Literally, this is what's getting all organized. I'm ripping everything out of here, and I'll show you how I organized it. Probably next week, SAS. I'm going to show you what I did, how I went through, reorganized, and I'm going to be destashing stuff from my shop too, because there's stuff I just don't use. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be going in and destashing and making sample boxes. All you have to do is pay shipping for my sample boxes that I'm making up, and it's just stuff I just don't use, or stuff that hasn't been selling for me, but if it was something that you guys want to use and test out, it's called practice boxes. I like them for that reason. So I've got a lot of stuff and it's everywhere, and I want to get in new stuff. So that might be something I am doing. I'll be doing a destash of my shop. So it'll be crazy. And who knows what's going to end up in this shop or in that box. And there'll only be a couple because obviously. So we are going to lint roll. We're going to do this popsicle holder. Yes, you could use it for an EpiPen. Somebody said an EpiPen. You could use it for insulin pens. You know, the insulin for diabetics. There's a lot of different things you can use it for, I suppose. But I'm going to give this a quick pre-press. Get rid of this paper. See, look at that. Why you put butcher paper down? Okay, right there. Because if I were to put something that was white on there, it would not be good. So, quick pre-press. I've lint rolled both sides. Okay, did a quick pre-press. So what we're going to do is, see if I'm on the camera here. I'll get better at this whole angle thing, I promise. There we go. So, like I said, these are great. You can even hand these out for graduation parties. I know it sounds crazy, but if you've got little kids, these are going to work just like the Koozies. You're going to have to sit here and finesse it. So, and I probably should have made my design just a touch wider. I'm going to end up with that funky line. I'm already warning you. Because it wasn't wide enough for me to roll it up and over. Because I like to roll it up and over so that it sits better. I know you guys are digging the armband on with the dress and the jewelry right now. You guys think that's just awesome. I know you do. So, line this up. Yes, you want to use butcher paper that is not coated. All right, you can buy it. I buy mine on Amazon. But I seem to buy all of that type of stuff on Amazon. So what I'm doing, what you're going to do right now is I'm taking this and I'm literally almost going like this. Okay, up and around it. And I'm going to take that. I do it with the Koozies too. Okay. Just a little bit of an up and around. Okay. I do these with full bleed. I'm going to go put this on the heat press because you don't need to keep seeing that. You guys know how a heat press works. So I'm going to press that one, and then once we pull that off, I will press the other side, and again, I'll roll it up and over so that you can do that. Moving on to what our next project is Amy sells tape measures. She sells tape measures, and I have a design for that. And then Stan and Jen have these keychains. This one is a nail clipper one and bottle opener. This one, I laugh at this one. It reminds me, my mom always had this ring and it had a bazillion keys on it. Actually, I think she still has the ring with a bazillion keys on it. But this was to keep those nice and neat. You can actually put 4. They slide. This is a great, I like this key ring, I gotta be honest with you. So we're gonna press those. I made the template last night for this guy so that he has his own little template, because I'm getting much better at making my own templates too. And that's something else you should guys learn how to do. Somebody asks me, at least daily, how do you make a template, or how do you make a mock-up? Well, here's what I do with a lot of my stuff, okay? First of all, get proficient with Photoshop and Corel. More so Photoshop. I do a lot of my mock-up stuff in Photoshop. Okay, so in your Photoshop, and I'm not one to teach this stuff. This is definitely a Marvin, Stan, Amy, not a Nikki thing. But here's what I do for mine. I will take my items when they're blank, take a picture of them on my hardwood floor. I then upload that to my computer, and then I go into Photoshop and I play around with all the adjustments, and I add my image to those items so I can switch it out without actually having to press a bazillion items to show somebody something. That's one of the go-tos in beginning making of mock-ups. Make your own. You don't have to buy them. And some of the best mock-ups for me are ones that are actually sitting in my shop. Ones that I've literally left a bottle sitting here plain, and I took a picture of it. And now it's in my shop setting. It's not like anybody else's. They're not going to sit there and recreate my shop. Lord knows you don't want to. So that's what I do. And that's what I'm learning to do more and more, is make my own mock-ups. So I've been learning over the last 6 months, it's 7 months now, how to make my own. And I've gotten pretty darn good at it, to be honest with you. At least I think I have. For somebody who's self-taught and never finished college, I am very proud of my skills. So keep that in mind. So take a picture. Hot item. Put this on your table. Take a picture of it. All right. Best lighting you can get. All right. And who cares about the background? If you're getting a nice close-up image of it, the background's going to kind of blur. All right. Then you take your image in your Photoshop. And I say Photoshop because I don't know any other program except Photoshop and Corel, so do not ask me about any other program. My brain will be fried. I'm trying to learn so much more in Photoshop and Corel that it's just not worth it. I just can't. And then what you do is you overlay your image on top of this. You figure out all the different settings, all the different things that you can use to make this, to change the opacity, the fill, all of that stuff, so that it looks like you actually put it on the bottle, okay? That's the easiest way to make a mock-up, is a blank. So before you go and start screwing things up, and before you start even, obviously you always test out to make sure that you can press it correctly, to make sure that that image looks just like your mock-up, which I have done. And I always encourage that. If you're going to make a mock-up of something, please make sure that you've pressed it first. Please make sure that, and I try to preach that myself, please make sure you've pressed it first. It's not the first time you're pressing it as when somebody's ordering it based on a mock-up. Actually print it off, actually print it on that same item that you've put in your mock-up, and make sure that it presses correctly so you know what you're selling before you launch that item, okay? So for an example, I had somebody ask me if these are the boot koozies that you can get. So you have to press these. You got to know how to do this. And this was the unsewn, or the sewn one. This was the sewn one. You had to know how to press all of that. But you have to, honestly, you got to press it. So press it and see what it looks like. One, so you can see if your design looks good on the substrate. And two, you know what your time, temp, and pressure is as well. Because once you launch that and people see it, they're going to want it. Sorry, it's getting warm in here. So that's how you do that. Okay, that's my tip for mock-ups. Whether it's right, wrong, or indifferent, it's just how I do it. And it's working for me, clearly. So that's what I would do for those. Make yourself a mock-up out of something that is already, that's plain, and then you can work with it. I encourage Photoshop for that. Once you go to Photoshop, you never go back. I do use Corel and Photoshop very interchangeably for those items. I'm going to take a quick pause in my comments and see what you guys have to say. Are you guys talking about my bracelet? Okay. Somebody asked about my bracelet. So, I made this. You can go and get these charms. The charms are listed in Amy's site under the Alex and Ani style bracelet, the wire hoop one. In the drop-down menu are extra charms. So what I did was I went and got I had some jewelry thread and got some beads, and these happen to be actually my kids' birthstone colors. My daughter's an aqua, hers should be a lighter blue, but hers is an aquamarine, my son's a sapphire, and made my own pretty bracelet. So there you go. I wanted one with my kids' birthstones on them, so that's where I'm going to be gearing my jewelry towards. This is super light and it's stretchy. I probably could have tightened it up, and I'll probably tighten it up a little bit because it's a little too loose for me because I have tiny wrists. But you really just don't know. These charms are so incredibly light that you don't even realize that you're wearing it. My other tip is I only used one of those threads. I should have used two. So when I go thread through, again, I'm going to use the double thread so that there's two, or even a thicker stretchy thread, because I'm afraid that if I catch this on something, I'm going to break it and there'll be beads everywhere. But that is, I totally made that myself. I made it for me. Would you ever press something somebody wanted to give you? So if somebody gives you an item, if it's a shirt that I'm going to do vinyl on, yes, I allow people to drop off their stuff. If it's something that's going to be sublimated on, I usually say no. Because I need something to be a high poly content. I need to know it works. I know what works, unless I direct them literally and say, you can get it at this store, this is the item, da-da-da. Then yes, then they can order it, try it on, and whatnot, but it has to be this specific brand and this specific thing. Then yes, and it also depends on how well you know your client, if you're able to do that. Bring me items to press? No, because they're not going to buy slates that are proper for sublimation. You know, they're not going to find different things and say, hey, can you totally press on this? No, that's for us to test to see if we can, and then offer it out. Have somebody bring it to you so you can screw it up? No, that's not my idea of good times. So I honestly like to test out my own stuff. I don't want somebody to bring it to me and then me mess it up. Because what if it doesn't work? What if you melt it? What if it doesn't take the ink at all? There's too many variables when I allow somebody else to come into my realm. I'd rather me go into theirs in the selling world than you come into mine. I hope that makes sense. So the only thing I do let them drop off are t-shirts if I'm going to be doing vinyl on them. T-shirts, tank tops, hoodies, that kind of thing. Otherwise, no, I want complete control on that part of it, because I need to make sure that it works perfectly, because when the day is done, my name's on it. If this totally gets all mucked up, it is my name on it. And they can twist that story very quickly and how I messed this up. And I'm sorry, in the world of Facebook and social media, I don't need that kind of drama. So that is why I would say no. I hope that helps. Does that make sense for you guys? And why I would not let that happen? Again, because Facebook is not very forgiving. Social media is not very forgiving. And you mess this up for something that they gave you. That would be my answer. So, make sense? Are we good? Oh, good. Somebody said yes. Or at least showed me a heart. So here is the one side of that wickedly awesome. Again, I should have made my template just a little bit bigger. I forgot in my own brain that these squish down so much so they get a little bit wider. So that was a me problem. That was not anybody else's problem but my own. If you see something too, let's case in point. There's not always templates for everything. If it's a circle, measure the circle. If it's a square, measure a square. If it's a rectangle, measure the rectangle. Get yourself a caliper, and you're going to go, what in the world's a caliper? Let me enlighten you on what a caliper is. Where is my caliper? There it is. Okay, so you're going to ask me what a caliper is. A caliper, and I used to just use everything like my measuring tape, and then talking with Amy and Stan, they're like, Nikki, come on, get with the program, kid. So this is my fancy caliper. What it does, for those who have no idea, and that's okay if you don't, really, okay? Because some people don't. What this does is this is going to measure how wide this is. So that when I go to plug these numbers into my program, again, so I had to make this template. I took a picture, sent the picture, so I could at least get the correct shape. What I did was I took the measurement going this way, and I took the measurement going this way, and that's how I started making my template for this. I added a contour to it because I was working in Corel, added a contour, retraced the design so that it was slightly larger than the item. But this gives you an accurate reading on how wide your substrate is. And this was probably one of the... I've gotten a lot of amazing tips from this group, and especially from the admin team who have been doing this a lot longer than I have. And this was probably one of my favorite tips that they offered to me and said, come on. And this is the one you should get. Like this, they were very, very helpful and very specific about what I needed. So find yourself a good caliper. I can post the link to where I found mine on Amazon so you guys can grab it. I want to say it was like 20 bucks. But it's worth it. It's worth it when you're trying to make your own templates. Good morning, Stan. Stan, we need to talk.
Late as usual.
Late as usual. Oh, he threw you under the bus, Stan. So, Nikki got a board from Home Depot she uses. Yes, I do. She showed how to use a board on a recent SAS. Yep, there is actually one. Who was it? Haley. I did one showing how I used a board for the baby blanket. Stan, going back to my go-to. People, like it up if you could get it, because he's watching right now. Please, please, I want him to get these for me and make them for me. Please. What did I do? Oh, watch. Jen says, hi, Kevin.
Hi, Jen.
All right, so look. While you decided to go watch a show and sleep last night, I came up with an idea at 3:30 in the morning. I took one of your Koozies, and I cut it, and I made it into a napkin ring. And everybody likes my napkin ring idea. It would go really good with my placemats that you're doing. And it would go good with my table runners. So, see? They all want them too. So, I have the idea. I have the size and what needs to happen and whatnot. And Jen's going to kill me later, but that's okay. I know how to get to her heart. So, this would be a really cool idea. Remember we were trying to figure out what else we could do with these? These aren't wide enough. But this is napkin rings. We're going to go for that. See? Y'all like the idea. Yay! Run. Right? Run. When Nikki has an idea, run. Okay. So let me press the other side of this. We're going to show you that. Remember, you're going to want to slightly roll it over and whatnot. I line up the edge. I'm going to give you guys a quick thing. Oh, he's going to kill me later. Oh, I'll hear about this one. So again, you want to tape your design. I'm putting this right close to the edge as possible because this is where it's sewn on one side, so my English is about to go completely improper. It's a lot more flatter. It's more squished down on this end than it is on the other side. So I tape that side first, and then gently again roll this in so that it gently comes around. I'll pull it up a little bit just so it's barely on the edge. I'll probably have a white line again for this. Why am I going to have a white line, you're going to ask? Well, because Nikki didn't make her template quite wide enough for me to do the roll method that I want to do. So this is just me. So make sure your template is a lot wider than your image for this particular one. I'm going to throw this back on the heat press. We'll make this party started again. I'm going to increase the pressure just a little. it or not, your pressure can change with your can actually change with your press. As you keep pressing and whatnot, your pressure can actually adjust on its own. Sometimes that happens. It depends on the quality of your press and whatnot. So always make sure that when you're pressing something, especially if you've been pressing things, multiple pressings and whatnot, check your pressure again. Make sure your pressure is still where it is, because just with everything else, it loosens up and once it's been used. So you might have to adjust your pressure a couple times while you're doing things, especially if you're having pressure issues. Say, I've pressed 5 of these and I've had no problem. Recheck your pressure. I recheck my pressure every time I press something, again, because I have an inexpensive heat press, so I can't expect it to be a workhorse all the time. So I do check my pressure for each individual item. There's my little tip right there. Good morning, Amy. Uh-oh. Amy, we're talking about tape measures today. We're also talking about your popsicle holders and what you can, other ways you can use your popsicle holder. People have using them for EpiPens, insulin holders, cigars for weddings I was using them for. So that's what we're doing with that. I'm about to press the tape measure. So we have that and the keychains. Once that gets off the press, I will be able to press my other things. Oh, inhaler holder, Amy. They want to know, because the chapstick holders don't hold inhalers, is there any way we can make something with a little bit bigger of an opening, and actually a little bit bigger in general, to hold inhalers? So you can also put an inhaler on a key ring. Something to maybe give some thought. I don't know if that's possible, but you would have to get your hands on an inhaler to know the width. You can't actually put it in any of the chapstick. It's not wide enough. So maybe that's something we can work on. That's what they're asking. Oh, pot handle holder. That's a good idea too. So there you go. Cool, right? So there's lots of cool things you can do with this, obviously. These are just something that you know, birthday parties, graduation parties. Like I said, this one has, luckily because I use a tie-dye look, it's not too bad. But you definitely want to make your template just a little bit bigger when you're doing this type of stuff. So that was just me printing it off at 3:30 in the morning kind of thing. I get lots of requests for, yeah, and the hand sanitizer holders too. So hand sanitizer holders, those might actually be able to dual as an inhaler holder. I don't know. That's something we'd have to work on a template and whatnot and see how maybe that we could work. But I know that is something that people are asking for. So hand sanitizers and inhalers. Hey, Krista. All right, I'm going to throw these. So this weird one is going on this. This little guy is going on this. And this guy is going on this. I'm going to also talk to you about this and making sure it stays secure. So I'm going to put this on the heat press. Adjust my pressure. And let that cook. So, like I said, there's different things that you can use for different reasons. You know, you always have to look at it and see beyond what else we can use it for. So those are the different, for those who missed and who are looking for a quick recap while that's cooking, I did some out of the box thinking and I made the bath mat. The bath mat, I have a couple of them. I'll go get the other one that I made. So I made 2 bath mats. One I did press live. This was one that I did. It says, I hope your day is as nice as your butt. So this is just, you know, something cute. Yes, you will get those seams for this particular style because this ridge in here is really deep. But you got to remember it's laying on the floor. You're not going to really care. This one, I have to say, is probably by far my favorite because of the ridges. I think the ridges give it a different type of depth. It kind of reminds me of like corrugated cardboard, believe it or not, because it has a totally, but it subbed absolutely great in all of these ridges, ironically enough. So I like how I can I'm sorry, I'm mesmerized by it. So there you go. This was a cool bath mat idea. You can get this at the Walmart. It's by Mainstay. It's the memory foam bath mat. So there was that we did. This has to cool because this be hot. We talked about Stan getting and making the napkin rings for me. This is a new item that I like to see if we can't do, and people agree. So I think this is something that we can work on. So this would be a great new item. We talked about items that we would like to see Amy get, and that's a hand sanitizer key ring and an inhaler key ring, and you might be able to use the hand sanitizer key ring also for the inhaler one. So we're hoping that that could be a thing. I pressed the armband. No jig needed. I did this and showed you guys how to roll method this. So I did that. And we talked about how you can sublimate on a hammer and how you have to put it in your press and how that green foam mat is worth the investment. You can also use the macaroon mats from Michaels. They'll work too. All you want to do is basically so that that mat comes down and around and puts pressure on this, because this does bow in a little bit. But they're already poly coated, so, or coated with something. I'm assuming poly, but it turned out really nice. I'm still working on my work in progress, and that is this fire axe, and then how I'm going to put my design on. I'm going to put a design on here. No, you can't currently put a design on it, although it looks like you should be able to, because it looks like there's some sort of coating. You can't. Trust me. I tried 14 million times, I felt like, last night trying to get this to work right, and it didn't work. So I know what I need to do. I just have to do it. This would be for display purposes, obviously, especially if you're going to put something on the axe handle itself. Yes, Dad can use this. And Amy, this is the ball. Nope, that's not the ball hammer. Hold on. They even have smaller ball hammers too, Amy. You were looking for ones for the clipboard. And this is what I use for my clipboard when I'm putting this piece on. I use this end and I just whack it. And it works perfectly every time. I did it on the wooden clipboards too that I pressed for you. So they do have a smaller ball hammer one. Get the ball hammer because it has a nice rounded edge, and that's the reason I do it. I don't get ones with a flat edge because I can't. This kind of has a point, so to speak. So that's why I use the ball hammer. And I also sublimated on that handle. Why? Because I was practicing. So that's what I use for my clipboards, is the ball hammer. Just remember, you want your design to be smaller. This one is about 6.5 inches. You don't want to go anything that's into this dip right here, because you're not going to get a good even press. So you really want something that stays on this high ridge and moves itself down. But honestly, beats vinyl any day, and it stays. But here's the thing though, you're going to use these, so be prepared, it's going to come off. Yes, you can poly it again, but anytime they put any of these type of things on it, it's going to come off with wear and tear over time. So if Dad wants to use it, great. If he wants to use it as a decoration, great too. That's really, you're just leaving it up to him. But normal wear and tear is normal wear and tear. I was thinking Subla decal for that axe handle, but I have another idea, so I'm working on it. I just have to get there. Okay. So now we have these, which are Amy's, come on, get the tape off, would you? Did I forget to take, no I didn't. Okay, just put too much pressure on it is what I did. Oh, I did, I put way too much pressure on this. So in the me problem category, what did I do? I have no idea what I did. I put way too much pressure is what I did on these. You don't need to put as much pressure. So now my paper stuck. So that's what happens when you put too much pressure, is your paper sticks. So what I'll do is I'll just go in and I'll do a quick, Kev, can I have the green scrubby? I'll go in and clean this off, do some rubbing alcohol. That was a me problem. Probably for letting it sit too. I didn't give it time to come off. So, doesn't matter. And I did take the plastic off of it too. I did that all beforehand. Okay. Thank you. There we go. Much better. That's what happens when you just a little bit of love. Okay, so here's what I can tell you about these. I have one that I've been using because I wanted to see what it was going to do if the tape holds up. And Amy has said numerous times that you should probably super glue it or use the E6000 or whatever the glue of your choice is. I happen to have the Loctite glue. So what I'm suggesting and what Amy has suggested a couple of times is so that this 3M sticker is just, if they're going to use it, it's not going to stay. So I put some glue on the back. And set it in there. You let it sit, let it cure. It's not something you're going to want to just give to them. Oh, here you go, slap it on there and it goes. No, it's not. It's not going to stick. Okay, you add some pressure to it and then that'll stick. I'm not going to play around with it because I need it to set up. Okay, so like I said, this is how you, like I said, there's paper on this still, but I can show you what it looks like at least. And it's a little dark, so I would want to go through and lighten this up a little bit because I'm going to want to put some shadowing a little bit more in there because it is so small it's hard to read, but it says the man, the myth, the legend. So I want to go in and I'm going to put some white behind that myth part. I could see it when it's here in daylight, but on camera I can't even see it. But for the most part, that is, see, it is there. So I want to lighten that up, give some shadowing and some contouring and make that really, really pop and stand out. So that is what I'm doing for this one. All right. And you can actually use this E6000 for any of this or the Loctite glue if you want it to stay for an eternity. And then I made this one for my husband. Because he has a bazillion keys he has to use. Right? And this just comes up. So you can turn it so you can put it on there and you just put it in. So I like this one. This is probably one of my favorite keychains. I didn't think I was going to like it as much as I do. But I do. And then we have this nail clipper bottle opener one. It's great for any sort of gift, really. This is going to my son, who's in Venture Scouts, because, you know, a scout always has to be prepared. So this would be a nice, not necessarily a bottle opener per se, you know, gonna open soda maybe, but later in life he will turn 21. But more so for this thing right here. And I'll just clean this up with some rubbing alcohol because, again, I put way too much pressure on it and that was a me problem. Use your hair. But, see? So, this is how, yeah. Perfect. There we go. Dang, I missed the whole thing. No, you didn't. I'm still here. I'm still working. All right. So here's the thing for the memory foam. All right, this is the memory foam bath mat for the bath mats behind me. Yep, E6000. Here's why I use this one, because I have to put it on the glass that I did that glass and any of Stan's glass ornaments, and I'll show you the Christmas ones I'm working on already with his keychains that are, where are they? See, again, this is why I need to clean my shop. So you need the E600 glue for this if you're going to put these on here, and this one actually says that it works for glass, so you're going to want to put this on here. But I'm going to show you how I'm turning this into a Christmas ornament, and It's going to be absolutely stunning and elegant. 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 Eloquent and elegant. Elegant. Oh, Lord. I'm going to quit while I'm ahead. Anyway, so you just put a little dab of dewy on here, let it sit, and there you go. You want something that's kind of fast acting too, so this will be here. And I'll show more of that. That'll be coming actually in July for the Christmas in July special. So I'll show how I did that. Yes, I am actually working on Christmas in July. I know, I'm crazy. So there you go. So those are what I'm working on for that. Let's see. Yeah, great groomsmen gifts. Absolutely. I haven't, but you can. You can use the Corel glue as long as, listen, as long as your product, whatever it is a fast drying, you want a fast drying, and as long as it can be used for many different things. Again, I had to search for this one because this was made for glass, and other things, obviously, but you want to read to see the description to make sure that you can use it for that item, because it's compounds and it's science, so. Good morning to all those who missed. All right, so I did a lot today. We talked about a lot of cool and interesting things, and things that we like to see and things that we like to have. So I'm gonna do my little show and tell. I have some show and tell things. So this is the the color light that I made for my sister. You can see the light coming through. They're great. They are stunning to have. I also made the koozie because, again, if you're going to make mock-ups, you really should press something. You should press what that item is on. So that's just saying, hey, you know, press that item first. Press to see how you have your time, temp, and pressure. Okay, that's the reason why if you're going to make mock-ups, and you can make mock-ups for anything. It doesn't matter. Just make sure you test it out. I posted earlier in the week my set that I made for myself. This is Stan's towel that I absolutely, everybody knows, quality snob. I was never more excited to get this item, and it's specifically for me. Specifically for me. I love them. You have no idea how much I love these. I am absolutely and completely and utterly obsessed the fact that I now have a left and a right. Guess what? They don't have left and rights on the market. Amy has cornered that market right there. Okay, that's a her thing, and I absolutely love the fact that she took her idea and said, okay, let's do it. Totally made us right and left mitts. If you haven't gotten your right and left mitts, you're missing out, because this is a really good seller, especially with the holidays coming. I love the pot holders, don't get me wrong, but sometimes I need 2 oven mitts, and I want them to be correct. I don't want to be putting it on. I mean, how many times have we all done this? Really? Now you're going to mess up my design. That is work right there, people. So let's not mess up Nikki's hard work, or any of the designer's hard work. And here we go. So these are absolutely amazing to do. I showed the tutorial on how to get that crease out, because if you notice, I never have a crease. And why? Because I take my time and do my due diligence with my press. There's a video out there that shows you how to do it, to get those crease marks so you don't end up with the crease marks. But aren't they cool? I love them. Love them. Showing your Pioneer Woman stuff last week has made me lots of money. I bought at Walmart. Ah, I love my woman. And then, let me tell you about these aprons. If you have not gotten an apron yet from Amy, holy good Lord. Let me tell you. First of all, oh, hold on. Don't want to mess up the hair. Not that it's perky or perfect, but these are thick. I've never had an apron so thick. Ever. I've never had an apron this thick. I am a plus size girl. Okay? We know this. I'm not shy about it. Okay? Why? Because I'm a real person. And I can not only wrap this around and feel like I have full coverage, okay? Full coverage, I can even tie her in a bow. So this can fit a large man. It has great coverage. I love that it has the pockets. Thick, super, super thick. Think about this. You can make this for your own business when you're doing vendor fairs, because this way you're not getting your clothes all dirty from doing vendor fairs. This is great for putting pens and money and whatever else you want to put in it. Put your logo on it. This is stunning, okay? Thick, amazing quality. It's made of her linen. It literally matches her oven mitts and her pot holders. So now you can have the trifecta set when it comes to this stuff. I absolutely adore this. Throw in some of Stan's towels like I did and you have a complete set. Let's go further beyond that. So he has placemats and whatnot. Check them out. You can make a total killing on this and making a total line where people can buy the apron and the pot holders and the oven mitts and the towels and the placemats and the table runner. And hopefully, my napkin rings, you know, now you're totally into kitchen. Add in there mugs and cutting boards. Think of all the stuff that you could take one design and pimp it out completely on absolutely everything you could possibly put in your kitchen. Farmhouse boards. Remember, this is a family board. You add some hooks and you now have a great utensil holder for your large plastic or metal utensils that you can hang. Put that design on there. Put it on a clipboard so when you're doing recipes. Amy has phone stands. Take the phone stands and put that design on there. Now it holds a book for when you have recipes or your tablet or your phone. It now matches the kitchen. See how my brain just literally went, wah, right? The last thing we're going to press for my Father's Day collection. Ugh. Hold on, please. Is I'm going to do a message board, and I'm going to just press the message board because I want you to see what the image is after and what my idea was. So I'm going to throw this on, so give me 1 second. I got to up my time though. And definitely put down my pressure. And yes, I have a clamshell, so yes, you can do this in your clamshell. Nothing aggravates me more when somebody says, oh, you can't do that because it's in a clamshell. Yes, you can do just about anything in a clamshell. So if people are knocking that you have a clamshell, bring them over to me. I will show them that I've done just about everything in my clamshell press. There you go. So let's see. Let's get some talking done. How does the apron wash? Amazing. It washes absolutely amazing. And actually, it's a little stiff when you get your aprons just because they're brand new. And over time, they literally loosen up, the fibers loosen up. But it's 100% polyester. So, and it's a linen polyester. So they're going to wash absolutely amazing. The ink's not going to come out. It's not going to fade. That's the beautiful part about what Amy does. She's like me, a complete quality snob. We are not afraid to tell you that. Why? She does exactly what I do. And I absolutely, this is why I gel with her, because one, she's not going to sell something that she's not going to stand behind. She needs to test it out. Then she sends it to us to test out. And then you guys get it. And then you're testing it out. You see how it all goes from there? She likes quality. And if she doesn't meet her standards, it doesn't even get to us. If she's like, yeah, no, sorry, you guys don't even get to play with this. But if she loves it and she can stand behind it, then we test it and then we can stand behind it. So I am a total quality snob. I love quality. I will pay a little bit more pennies on the dollar for quality so that I don't feel guilty selling something at a higher price if it's good. I'm not going to sell you something that's cheap. If it's cheap, be prepared. I'm going to sell it to you cheap because I can't get top dollar for something that I know darn well is crap. I just can't. So there you go. Thank you, Twana. I feel pretty today. Actually, I walked out and my daughter goes, oh, stealing that dress. No, you're not. I love the best part about my dress, though, is it's got pockets. I need a half apron. Ooh, a half apron would be really good, too. But you know, Miriam, let's be honest. You and I both know we could just take one of Amy's aprons and make it into a half. We know how to sew. But yes, I think a half apron would be a really great idea in the same linen quality, though. I want it in the same linen quality. I don't want her to differ from that because it's absolutely amazing. I could not wait to get these aprons in, and I am just blown away by them. Here's the one I did for my grandfather, the fishing one. I mean, I cannot. Quality is everything to me. So, pull this off the press. See, this is sweet. Okay. Except it's a little hot. Got my oven mitt. So, I got this idea about those message boards, and I'm actually going to put holes in this, and I might either make it into a clipboard or I'll hang it in my shop, or, well, whatever. I just have to fix my print quality, my conversion chart quality. It had nothing to do with me, per se. It's just because it's tiny. So, here's what I did. It's going to be hard to read because it's tiny, tiny font, but it's a measurements chart. So it's a conversion chart, fractions, decimals into millimeters, and then inches and centimeters. And then, because most people don't know what these fractions lines, they're not just lines, they're actually things. So did you know that in between the quarter is an eighth and the 16th? But it's so hard to see these because, hold on, because they're so tiny. So I might want to adjust that a little bit. Ideally, I want to put this on a clipboard, because then what I'm going to do on my clipboard, because these are much bigger, this conversion chart will be on one side with a ruler. Flip it over, the other one will be on the other side with a ruler. For this, I'm going to put 2 holes in it. I'm going to drill 2 holes so I can hang it. But this is a great idea if you want to think outside the box moment. So for guys who work in a garage or who work in construction or whatever, sometimes this helps. Or even maybe if you got a little guy who's helping dad out in the garage and dad needs to teach him, you know, well, what's a quarter of an inch? Well, it's 0.25. Well, what's it convert over to millimeters? 6.35. This way, it's teaching them. People pick on everyday math. This is everyday math. This is something that every child should know. That a quarter equals 0.25. That a half equals 0.5. Believe it or not, they don't know it. What are all the marks that are in here? So this is a great Father's Day type idea, is a conversion chart for that man in your life or woman in your life even. So I'm going to hang that in my shop. So, and it's hot. God, that thing's hot right now. So it's a great idea moment. Good morning, Todd. I need that for my BFF. She can't read a ruler to save her life, right? I mean, how awesome is that? Now, you can flip that, still put the ruler at the bottom. I know that sounds crazy, but you could put all the different measurements. So yes, what a cup, what a tablespoon, what a teaspoon is for a kitchen, I think you should have them in both spots, to be completely honest. You can even put on there what's great for substitutions. What's a great substitution for flour? Cornstarch. So that could be a great idea that you can even hang in there for different, you know, substitutes for different things. Basic substitutes. You know, so there's lots of different things you can do with those message boards. And, you know, as Ashley proved earlier this week, she drilled holes in some Chromolux panels and made it into a sign. Well, you could do the same thing with the message boards. I just encourage you, do it before you press it, and make sure you put some masking tape down before you drill your holes in. And now you can hang it. I mean, those message boards you can hang. You can even turn them into mini clipboards if you have the pieces for it. Or you do what I do, and you take a clipboard, which is already got the holes in it, and I turn it into something that I can hang. So there's lots of different things that you can do. And it doesn't have to be a monogram like that. Sometimes some of the best gifts I got were ones that were conversion charts or substitution charts or recipes that I just use all the time. that kind of thing. So think outside the box when you come to that stuff. It doesn't always have to be a monogram. Not everybody. The oven mitts are from hailbound.com. Just type in her search bar, just type in oven mitt. She has a right and a left. She sells them as a set. I want to say they're $7 for the set. And as you can tell, you can do a full bleed. I show people how to do a full bleed on these. They come out absolutely amazing. I always love the color. She is also getting in coasters. She's going to start getting, I pressed earlier this week too, the coaster that matches the linen coaster. I love them. Again, think about how you can build a package for people. Think about when you go online and you're shopping for something. And again, you go into this particular one on Walmart, you can see all the stuff that has that design on it. You create the same thing. Towels, aprons, oven mitts, pot holders, table runners, placemats, coasters, cutting boards, phone stands, wall decor. Let's see, I said cutting boards. I mean, there's mugs. There's so much that you can literally pimp out a theme and people will buy it. Great for bridal showers too. If you want to start bridal registries and whatnot of custom things that they can make, you can actually do some bridal registry stuff too. I'm starting to open up mine. I talked about that and the different things that you can do. I'm doing the garden flag. So I'm doing the garden flag of the month. That pilot program has been beautiful. I now have a spot where I can get my dowels and I can actually hang them instead of using the actual garden flag stand. So all of my garden of the month, our flag of the month members are going to get a banner holder. So I'm pretty excited about that. And then I'm going to be launching my bib of the month club for all the new mommies or the new grandmas, and why not? Great shower gift idea. And then an epiphany moment, maybe the towel of the month club. Maybe grandma doesn't know, you don't know what to get grandma, but I know for a fact my mom makes me the ones with the crocheted tops of the towels, and I have one for every season and holiday, and I love them. They go in the front of my oven. So those are coming down for my business. And again, bridal shower registries might be a nice, great thing too if you're not into that. Maybe you're not into sports. I'm not necessarily phasing out of sports, but I get bored with sports. And yes, I know sports can be where there's money at. Showers, baby showers, anything that you can literally have a woman look at and go, oh, I need to have that. It'll make you money. So it's not always about sports, and not everybody can handle the whole sports craze. It's built for a special person. Let me tell you what, because they come with special people. Hailbound.com is Amy. She does the oven mitts and the apron. Coney Island is your towels and your baby stuff. So Coney Island Transfer is that, and then Hailbound is the other stuff. And if any of the moderators or admins are in and they can link that, that'd be great. Oh, you did. You ordered the big neoprene ones from Stan. So let me show you those. There's two different kinds out on the market. I'll grab the other one. So Stan has ones that I call my grilling mitt. I can't find the one that I pressed. Again, because my shop's in disarray because we're reorganizing and destashing. So he has these absolutely wonderful, and I tell you, at first I didn't actually like them. I absolutely thought they were the most ugliest thing on the face of this earth. And I'm not going to lie, he will tell you that. I literally looked at him and go, no. And then he's like, use your brain. Tell me what we can use it for. And then I go, oh, grill! Why? And then it totally clicked. See, not everything that I like is something you're going to like, and vice versa. But here's why I can tell you I like this. It's black here. I'm going to use a grill. It's neoprene. It's going to handle the heat a lot better. The high heat that you have with a grill. So, honestly, this is a great one for grilling. This is a great one to take camping. Because I call these my fancy ones. These are the ones I use in my kitchen. Because these are my fancy ones. And this is the one I use for my grill and camping. So I have ones all over. Yes, it has this little cool thing so you can hang it from your grill. You want to know something else? If you forget and you leave it out in the weather, it's going to weather okay too. It's not, you know, you're not going to get it ruined because it's all fabric, because it's neoprene. So, you know, Billy hold my beer and it won't be too detrimental. So there you go. So that's why the grilling mitts I use for grilling and tailgating and camping, because those are great for that. Again, these are my fancy ones because I can have a right and a left for when I'm taking stuff out of the oven. And if you haven't gotten hers, it has this very soft plush inside. They're amazing. So there you go. True story. Just like true story. Jen gets to listen to our conversations and she just shakes her head. Shakes her head, but I don't like it. I'll go. And I get the look. So, I love it. Message boards. Message boards you can get from any major vendor. Any of the major vendors have it. Please note, like right now I can tell you I have the windows closed. I should have opened up a window. They do have a slight smell to them. So, and because I'm battling a headache today, it's a little more heightened than it ever is. But that's the same with clipboards or message boards and whatnot. They do have a slight odor, not any more than neoprene does. So, this is the message board that I made. It is only one side of the message board. Whereas if you decide to use a clipboard like what I use, it's two-sided, so you get more bang for your buck on this than you do with this. This is great for signs, but this is a couple two-fold process. One, they get to hang it if they use it as a clipboard. Two, you could put something on one side and something on another, and it's still the conversion charts and everything else. So now they not only get a clipboard, but they can get a sign. And so, you know, for me, these are a little more bang for my buck, because I can hang them or I can use that as a clipboard. And I like things that have a little bit more, you know, versatility at them. This I would use as just signs. I mean, I love these as signs. Don't get me wrong, they're a dry erase message board type thing. You could do the same thing on a clipboard. So really it's up to you. Whatever you decide you want to sell in your shop. I'm not going to dictate that. The hammer. Do you get ghosting when turning it more to press? No, you don't, because I tape it all down. I tape the whole thing down. I'm not going to go get it, but no, I tape this. So I'll tape it here and I tape it here, and then I'll put a long piece here and here. No. And actually, because this is a little bit narrower, because it fits perfectly in this spot. So this is less, I want to say this is 0.41, the width of this. So it fits really nice and neat in that spot, so there was no ghosting. Like I said, the paper's going to stick, so don't freak out and don't go complaining that the paper's going to stick. It's going to stick, and it's no more work than if you're going to do, you know, no-sew or the no-sew neoprene, anything, coasters, or you're going to use the shrink stuff or whatever it is you're using. This is no more work wiping this off than any other crap that's out there. So here's... I don't get any ghosting, and I did it multiple times, as you could tell. This was just because I didn't have it short enough. There was no ghosting at all. Again, here's another one with the hatchet. It was just too long because it dips down through here. This all sits up almost even, so I was like, okay, I got to change the length of it, and change the length of it so that it fits better. In here, I want to change the width just a little bit because I did move it down too far. So again, I'm tweaking. This is a whole tweaking thing. You do the same thing. Honestly, if you have a wooden handled hammer at your own house, go sub on it. Why waste your money on something when you probably already have it in your house and you want to test it? Food for thought. There you go. You said tape before you drill the holes. Yes, I put, so on the message board, when you are going to drill holes in the message board, I put tape right here, and then I put, because it protects this, that's actually a carpentry thing. So you just put, and somebody who's probably better at the whole carpentry explanation as to why you do that is probably going to be better at this, explaining this, but I put the tape here, then I drill my holes. And what I use as my marker I use the holes for that, so it's right where I want it to be. And I just draw my holes, tape it, and then drill down through. And don't like kill it. But that's how you drill holes for this. You just put some masking tape down, then peel the masking tape up, and then sub as normal. Put your holes in it first. So, because then you're not going to mess up your image. I usually use clipboards, but at $8 I was looking at a tad cheaper. Thank you. You're welcome. Is that a regular Home Depot hammer? Actually, I got that at Walmart last night. Walmart was closed. You can probably get them at Tractor Supply, any of the different hardware stores. You just want to make sure it's a regular wooden handled one because they have a coating on them most likely. If you see a little bit of a sheen, it does have a coating on it. If you want to add more of a sheen, add some polyacrylic. But I didn't have to add anything to do this, so I like the fact that I didn't have to add anything. This one I got at Walmart. The hatchet I got at Walmart. But again, any Home Depot, Lowe's, Tractor Supply, whatever the places are that you can get that kind of stuff, probably even online, but you're going to pay an astronomical amount in shipping unless you get it from Amazon. But that's a good alternative. I use Blue's painter's tape. Yeah. Masking tape, painter's tape, that kind of tape that you want to use to drill the holes. Absolutely. For fire pits, good story. What time is it, Kev?
10 minutes of 12.
It is 10 minutes of 12, which means it is time for the quickest rundown of your lifetime. There's no more questions. We're going to run it down. I'm going to tell you everything that I talked about in a hot minute. Are you ready? Anybody got any questions before I do this? Because once I do the rundown of what I've done today and get it all out there and we've talked about it and I tell you where I got it from, I sign off. This is just how I've been doing it since August. How much do you sell the hammers for? That's up to you. It depends on how much you bought them for. And then you build it off of that. I know I'm going to try to find my hammers a little bit less expensive. I want to say the one I paid for last night was like $15. So I'm going to see if I can't find it for a little less expensive. But you can put their names on it. You can personalize it. Great for somebody who's coming out of construction school, construction trades, that kind of thing. So there you go. What is the farmhouse behind you? This is the sign that I made, Francine. I put hooks in here and I hung my spoons, my ladles, and whatnot from here. It's a family board, actually. It's Amy's family board that I literally thought outside the box, hung some hooks in there, and that's where I hang my utensils. The design, the frame design came from Apron. That's Ashley Dodd's design. And the letters are ones that I made. So the letters are for me, the ones that I made because it's a teal and it matches my farmhouse design. The frame with the chicken wire actually is from Apron. That's Ashley's. So, and this is actually her family board design. If you go look for a family board, and the family board comes from Amy. So there you go. All right, and here we go. Let's see if we can talk about absolutely everything that I did in the last hour and 40 minutes, 50 minutes, and do it in a nutshell, and then I'll go through, I'll answer any questions, I'll post links of where I found things, what I talked about, and here we go in the hot minute. So what we talked about, ready? Let's see if I can do this. So we talked about these bath mats that you can get from from Walmart. They're from Mainstay. They come in a variety of different colors. I suggest the grays, the light pinks, the blues. You can do the light tan. Let your fingers do the walking. I will post the links up above this video so that you know where to get this. But again, absolutely gorgeous. They take the color really, really well, and that is something that you can sell. We talked about the conversions chart that you can do for Father's Day. This is on the message board. We also talked about how you can drill the holes in this, put the painter's tape down, put the masking tape, drill it, then sub it. My suggestion, go ahead and use a clipboard. You get more bang for your buck when you use a clipboard. You can do it two-sided. It's a clipboard, and you can also hang it. Those you can get from any major vendor. We talked about the lovely, lovely Amy and some of the great quality products that she has, which actually all of her stuff is quality. She has oven mitts and, she has oven mitts and pot holders. She now sells the set left and right. Everybody should have a left and right in their repertoire. We talked about how you could totally pip out a design where you could do an apron, you could do oven mitts, pot holders, placemats, towels, you name it. you can totally take one theme and completely run with it, and it sells more things. You can also use it for bridal registries. We talked about Stan's towels because, you know, that's what we do. There isn't probably a SAS that I haven't had a Stan towel in it somewhere, shape, or form. We talked about doing the arm sleeves and how these are really easy, and no, you don't need a jig. How you can actually roll it over, press it, and go. Just make sure that if you're going to do the two-sided design like I did, you might want to mirror one side and not mirror the other. My note to self. We talked about hammers and the hatchet and how you can get those from any hardwood store as long as they're wooden ones. How you want to shrink your design down to about 0.41 at about 5.5 inches wide, and they sub beautifully on there. Remember, the paper does stick, so you want to wash that off. Use a light green scrubby after it's been soaked a little bit in water. It takes no more than a couple seconds to pull it off, and you could sell it for $20, $25 or more. We talked about the grilling oven mitts that we can get from the grilling mitts that we can get from Coney Island, how you can use them grilling, tailgating, you can use them for camping, whatever the case may be. Back over to Amy. She has these, and I totally glued this on, so it's super glued on and it's working and doing its thing. This is her tape measure that she has. It's a real working tape measure. This is why you want to super glue this, because you're going to want them to use it. Make sure you don't use too much pressure like I did and your paper won't stick. Also, picking a design is key and making sure that you can actually see it. I'm going to go through and tweak my own design because I can hardly see because I picked a red. I'm going to put some nice little outlines and some shadowing on there so that you can see that better. And I'll put that in my store later. We also talked about 2 of the different keychains that you can get from Coney Island. Absolutely love this one. It's totally movable and adjustable. And then there's also this one, which is the nail clipper and the bottle cap. We talked about that and the templates. We talked about how you can take a popsicle stick holder. You can use it for an EpiPen, insulin. You can also use it for a bachelor party by putting a cigar in there, putting the wedding date on it. Really inexpensive, but really I use these for kids' birthday parties, and they're a great, great design for that. And my pitch idea is making this little guy into a napkin ring holder. That was my pitch for Stan, because you know what? I thought about it at 3:30 in the morning. So, looking at everything, I think that's it. I think that's it in a nutshell. This has been the SAS for May 19th, 2019. I hope you guys have a blessed day and you guys enjoyed everything, and we will see you soon on the flip side.